man who is not one of her captors and is so healthy. His clear eyes, his full cheeks, his fair hair protruding from beneath his cap. "Where are you from, Cilka Klein?" Memories of her old life have faded, become blurred. At some point it became too painful to remember that her former life with her family in Bardejov existed. "I'm from Czechoslovakia," she says, in a broken voice. Auschwitz-Birkenau Concentration Camp, February 1945. Cilka has been sitting in the block, as close as she can get to the one stove that provides heat. She knows she has already drawn attention. The other able-bodied women, her friends included, were forcibly marched out of the camp by the SS weeks ago. The remaining prisoners are skeletal, diseased, or they are children. And then there is Cilka. They were all meant to be shot, but in their haste to get away themselves, the Nazis abandoned them all to fate. The soldiers have been joined by other officials, counterintelligence agents, Cilka has heard, though she's not sure what that means, to manage a situation the average soldier has no training for. The Soviet agency is tasked with keeping law and order, particularly as it relates to any threat to the Soviet state. Their role, she's been told by the soldiers, is to question every prisoner, to determine their status as it relates to their imprisonment, in particular if they collaborated or worked with the Nazis. The retreating German army are considered enemies of the state of the Soviet Union, and anyone who could be connected to them is, by default, an enemy of the Soviet Union. A soldier enters the block. "Come with me," he says, pointing to Cilka. At the same time, a hand clutches her right arm, dragging her to her feet. Several weeks have passed, and seeing others being taken away to be questioned has become part of the routine of the block. To Cilka, it is just her turn. She is 18 years old, and she just has to hope they can see that she had no choice but to do what she did in order to survive. No choice other than death. She can only hope that she will soon be able to return to her home in Czechoslovakia, find a way forward. As she's taken into the building the Soviet army are using as their headquarters, Cilka attempts a smile at the 4 men who sit across the room from her. They are here to punish her evil captors, not her. This is a good time. There will be no more loss. Her smile is not returned. She notices their uniforms are slightly different to those of the soldiers outside. Blue epaulettes sit on top of their shoulders. Their hats, placed on the table in front of them, have the same shade of blue ribbon, with a red stripe. One of them does eventually smile at her and speaks in a gentle voice. "Would you tell us your name?" "Cecilia Klein." "Where are you from, Cecilia? Your country and town?" "I'm from Bardejov in Czechoslovakia." "What is the date of your birth?" "The 17th of March, 1926. "How long have you been here?" "I came here on the 23rd of April in 1942, just after I turned 16. The agent pauses, studies her. "That was a long time ago." "An eternity in here." "What have you been doing here since April 1942? "Staying alive." "Yes, but how did you do that?" He tilts his head at her. "You look like you haven't starved." Cilka doesn't answer, but her hand goes to her hair, which she hacked off herself weeks ago, after her friends were marched from the camp. "Did you work?" "I worked at staying alive." The 4 men exchange looks. One of them picks up a piece of paper and pretends to read it before speaking. "We have a report on you, Cecilia Klein. It says that you in fact stayed alive by prostituting yourself to the enemy." Cilka says nothing, swallows hard, looks from one man